Hello. How are y'all doing this morning? Hey, beautiful people. How are y'all doing this morning? I pray that you guys had a blessed weekend. I hope that your week will go as however you have planned, but we all know that God has the ultimate plan. So I want to cover these news articles. I'm trying to focus, you guys. So much is going on right now in my personal life. And it's really, I wasn't even going to come on today, but I got to keep my mind off of what's going on because things are out of control. I can't control everything. None of us can control everything. We need to understand that God has the ultimate control. And I don't want to make this, I don't want to get too far away from the news that I'm doing. But good morning as y'all enter. Thank you for being here. Lydia, Erica, Wins, Juanita, I appreciate y'all coming in. Let's get into this story because this is affecting a lot of people. Social Security, and also SNAP, because there are millions of people on SNAP. Whether people approve of it or not approve of it, there are a lot of people that need help, and there are a lot of people that also take advantage of the system as well. And there are some things that's going on. Okay, so we're going to start with SNAP, Social Security. The lifeline for retirees or people who hope to retire one day, but finding themselves having to work even longer because they know that that retirement check from Social Security is not going to be enough to sustain their lifestyle that they already have. So in some states, the tax man is lurking around the corner, they say, ready to take a bite out of those benefits. While many people assume their Social Security income is untouchable, the reality is more complicated than it seems. Depending on where you live, a chunk of that money could be taxed away. So it's already a little bit, now it could be taxed away, leaving you with less than expected when tax time rolls around. First off, it's important to remember the federal government already taxes Social Security benefits depending on your income level, but at the state level, policies can vary depending on the state that you're in. So 41 states and the District of Columbia choose not to tax Social Security benefits at all, allowing retirees to keep more of their income. For the remaining states, retirees they may face state taxes as well as the tax that's already there by the federal to their benefits, potentially cutting into their expected retirement income. In 2025, retirees in 9 states could see their Social Security benefits reduced to state income taxes. These states include Colorado, Connecticut, Minnesota, Montana, New Mexico, Rhode Island, Utah, Vermont, and West Virginia. Each state has their own rules, and the amount of Social Security benefits that are taxed depends on the various factors, including income levels. In some states, Social Security benefits are taxed if your total income exceeds certain thresholds. In others, a portion of your benefits may be taxable regardless of how much you earn. So some states have recently taken steps to alleviate this tax burden. Utah, for example, is considering removing taxes on Social Security benefits. People might start moving to Utah. Move expected to save retirees around $143.8 million annually. Similarly, West Virginia has started phasing out its tax on Social Security benefits, with plans to eliminate it completely by 2026. As state laws continue to evolve, it's essential for retirees to keep a close eye on changes that may impact their income, ensuring they can make the most of their hard-earned Social Security benefits. And then let's see, where's the other one? SNAP. So the new SNAP eligibility changes take effect, putting millions at risk. Those who don't comply can only receive SNAP for 3 months, and then you're cut off. And we all know it's the work. You have to be working if you are certain age and if you are a certain person. So the changes kick off. They've already started September 1st, following the budget bill passed earlier this year. And millions are at risk of losing their stamps, well, EBT. The overall was part of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act of 2025. The new rules toughen work requirements for able-bodied adults without dependents. Anyone under the age of 55 without children must now show they are working, studying, training, or volunteering for at least 20 hours a week. So not just sitting at home when you can go out and you can work. And if you don't want to work, then you need to go volunteer if you want to get this help. That equals 80 hours per month, and failure to meet the threshold triggers strict time limits. Those who don't comply can only receive their SNAP for 3 months within 3 years. So if you get cut off, you can't go back and reapply. You're going to have to wait. The rules are being enforced by state and county social service offices tasked with verifying work hours. But the mandate doesn't stop there. Groups that were previously exempt are now being pulled in for the first time. Veterans, I don't know if I'm in agreement with this, but veterans, that means you served your country, and people aged 55 to 64 will be subject to the same 20 hours per week requirement. In my opinion, for veterans, in my opinion, if you serve your country, you don't even have to go to war, but you gave yourself and you served your country. You could have gone to war. You should be entitled to free everything, in my opinion, because you chose to sacrifice yourself to protect your country. That's just my opinion. Y'all can let me know what y'all think. There should be no stipulations for veterans. They should have everything. Because I don't want to go fight no war. There's a lot of other people that it's not for them. But it was for those people. Those brave people. Not to say I'm not brave and you're not brave, but I'm not brave in that way. Okay? But I just feel like veterans deserve better than they're getting. They will be subject to the same 20 hours per week requirement. Like they haven't met all the requirements for everything else. But anyway, I digress. The legislation also lowers the dependent age threshold from 18 to just 7. I think it's not 7. I think it's 14. But they might have changed it again. I don't know. They keep changing it. So I can't keep up. So that means parents with kids over 7 could now be forced to meet the same rules. Yeah, they changed it. It was 7. I believe it's 14. I have another video I'm about to show y'all. And this lady, she actually works doing this with Medicaid and EBT. And I would like to think that she knows better than, what's being reported. So immigrants are also impacted with new restrictions on eligibility for certain groups, including those with refugee status. Not everyone will have to comply. The law carves out exemptions for specific populations. People who earn more than $217.50 per week before taxes, equivalent to 30 hours at the federal minimum wage, and they need to raise that, are automatically excluded. If you're going to be taking people off of SNAP, and I have no issue with that, if you're able to work, you have no health issues, you should be out there working, right? I have no problem with that. But in the same means, they need to federally raise, because right now it's just, each company decide, oh, hey, I'm going to pay this, I'm going to pay that. And some are like, no, I'm just going to keep it at the federal minimum wage. I don't want to be losing all my money. So I think it should be federal minimum wage raised. Because with the way prices are right now for everything, you're going to end up with more homeless people, more issues, just more of everything. So it's a pregnant women, individuals with certified disabilities, and caregivers for children under 6 or disabled family members are also exempt. I feel like that's going to push people. Well, I need to go and get pregnant so I can keep my benefits. People think like that though. So others spared include participants in alcohol and drug treatment programs, homeless individuals, part-time students under certain conditions, and young adults who were in foster care. And I'm hearing that that's changing as well. Veterans and former foster youth under 24 are also listed among those who may qualify for relief, which is opposite of what I just read about the veterans. To help identify exemptions, the Department of Homeland Security has started sending voluntary surveys to current SNAP recipients. The Nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office projects the new law will slash $186 billion from SNAP by 2034. And so let's hear what the lady is saying when she's explaining it. I might have to back it up though. Let me make sure you're seeing what I'm seeing. Okay.
Field, and I work in the social service field, and we just got an update on the Medicaid and SNAP changes. And boy, start with SNAP because I may have to make this in 2 parts. So as you know, the Big Beautiful Bill is now a law. So this is what will be happening over the next 3 years, basically. As you know, SNAP was cut by 20%, which is the largest cut in the history of SNAP. A lot of people are going to be at risk of losing their benefits, unfortunately. So if you receive SNAP, you want to pay attention to this. So bottom line is that they are expanding work requirements. So people up to age 65 now are going to be required to work to be able to get their SNAP benefits. It was 54 before, they raised it to age 65. Also includes parents of kids that are older than 14. It used to be 18. They just reduced it to 14. So if you are a parent that is receiving SNAP for your family and you have a child that is over 14, you will now be required to work some of that time to receive those SNAP benefits. And while it adds exemptions for work requirements for American Indians and Alaska Natives, it eliminates exemptions for veterans, for people who are experiencing homelessness, and for foster youth. So now veterans, people who are experiencing homelessness, and foster youth that are of working age will now be required to work to receive their SNAP benefits. Also restricts the individual states' ability to waive those work requirements in areas that have high unemployment rates or limited work. So even if you're living in an area that literally has no work for you to do or to get, you still have to somehow meet those work requirements because now states can't waive that for you anymore. Switching the burden from the federal government to states. So it will increase the burden on the states' budgets by shifting costs from the federal government to the state. It eliminates benefits for most people who are not U.S. citizens, and it limits future updates based on evolving dietary restrictions and food costs to Thrifty Food Plan, which is used to determine the maximum SNAP benefits allowed, thereby restricting overall SNAP benefit levels, meaning that they can't raise it as much as they normally did with the rise of food costs. And yeah, I think I'll do a second part for Medicaid, but at the end, I'll put a screenshot of what they gave us.
Hey, East Dad, how are you today? Good to see you. Yep, I got the power. They showing you who got the power. Take that power back. You know what, East Dad? You have to be silly. in order to get through stuff that's going on right now. You really do. You have to find something. Probably so, Carol. Probably so. And they're talking about sending National Guard to Chicago now. So yeah, that's true, Kay Washington. It's generational. Like people say, create generational wealth. That's generational, Kay. So yeah, you're right. Hey, Seal, peace unto you as well. Okay, y'all, I'm at the end of the chat. Thank you, Melissa. Be forced to take the mark. Yeah. Yeah. Y'all take care, stay safe. I don't know if I'll be back with another video today. Just because so much is like going on right now. I love you, but God loves you more. He created only one you. Be the very best you that you can be. And when you are, please go out and spread God's love, okay? And love yourself first. That way you know what it feels like. And then you can share that out with other people. Smile. Say hello to people. You'd be surprised